Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains. Glad to have you with us this morning. Had a little technical difficulties this morning, but all is well now, I think. So, glad to have you with us whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in. This is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day. So, glad you're with us. Well, let's begin our time together by going to God in prayer. Help me call a blessing down, for I think our poor old world needs it. A blessing of peace, a blessing of the ordinary, a blessing of national life without chaos and personal life without fear. Help me pray a healing down, for I know how much we need it. A strengthening of the bonds between us, simple respect and patient listening, a new beginning for us all. Help me welcome the sacred down, the wide-winged spirit drawn from every corner of heaven, to walk among us once more, to show us again how it can be when justice is the path and love the destination. Amen and amen. Now, good morning, Dr. Lee. Good morning, Kenna. Good morning, Florida. Good morning, Robin. Good morning to you whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. Again, I'm sorry we're running a few minutes late this morning. Some technical difficulties. So today we begin a new rung on the ladder to light, the rung of action. And so I thought this song from our good old songbook here would be appropriate. Yep. Well, maybe we'll hear some more little protest type songs. Because as I said, we come to the rung of action. Charleston writes, "What we say we do." I saw a poster long ago that I still remember. It depicted an Apache man looking straight ahead with regal determination. And the poster's tagline says, "We need less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand." That made me smile. Like you, I live in an age when we confuse truth with thunder and action with lightning. What we say and what we do drift apart. What we hear, we do not believe. What we see, we do not trust. And who we are, we do not know. He writes, "So far we have climbed 4 rungs on this ladder to the light. We began with faith, the first rung, which opens our hearts to the reality of the Spirit. That openness makes room for the Spirit to work within us through blessing, the second rung. The infusion of love that allows us to do what we would otherwise not be able to do. The third rung in our climb is hope, where faith and blessing produce in the human heart. Hope gives birth to community, the fourth rung, the united family, growing in strength by growing in diversity. And now we come to the fifth rung, which challenges us to put what we have learned to work. Spiritual books are often like meringue on a pie. They're fluffy, sweet, and decorative, but not substantial. I thought that was really funny. I have a whole book full of them. I mean, a whole bookshelf full of them, right? And another one at work at the church. Books are fluffy, sweet, and decorative, but not substantial. They don't meet our needs because they never answer the hard question, but how will it work? Saying that we have faith, blessing, hope, and community sounds great. But what do these things actually do? Spirituality can have many poetic images, but few pragmatic applications. I want to hold my own feet to the fire. I began this book with a story about my visit to a comfortable New England parish. I want to go back there and answer some difficult questions. The light beyond the hill. Your spiritual journey is measured not by how many answers you have accumulated, but by how many questions you have confronted. We are not gods who must know everything, gatekeepers to truth. We are seekers who look for the truth where it might be most difficult to find. Our wisdom is not in what we know, but in what we wonder. The light beyond the hill calls us to leave the shadows, even if the shadows were our pride and our possession. So going back to the story that we read about in the introduction to this book, Charleston writes, "When I asked the good people of this parish in New England to name one cultural institution in which they still had complete confidence, they were silent. They were silent because they were unsure. They'd lost faith in the classic sources of our shared confidence. They did not have faith in the educational, economic, judicial, political, or healthcare systems. They had begun to doubt religious institutions. They felt our natural environment, the systems of the earth, were failing as well. In every category of confidence, they were in crisis. They did not believe in the categories of leadership that once held their loyalty. They did not think the government would ultimately do anything to seriously alter their reality, a reality that I describe in this book as darkness. Well, I want to change that perception. Even if we do face darkness, that is never the final word. There is something that we can do. We can regain our confidence, both in ourselves and in one another. We can hope. We can join together in community. And we can learn from other cultures and grow stronger. And in the end, we can overcome darkness with light and shift the pendulum of history toward the light. But I do not want to leave it at that. I do not want to allow myself just to imagine that just by saying something that everything will be all right, that I have accomplished what I set out to do. It's going to be a good chapter, folks. Appropriate, I think, as we get ready to enter this season of Lent together. I plan to take some action tonight by chowing down on some pancakes at church before we enter that season of Lent tomorrow on Ash Wednesday. So, but yeah, I can say all shall be well all day long. I sign my emails with it. I pray it. I believe it. But making all things well requires action on our part. Each of us has our own part to play. And like a good basketball team, just do your job, right? We don't have to do it all. It's a team, it's community. Just show up day to day. Pray, work, live together in community. Just do our job. All right. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you're along on this journey. Florida says we become more negative than positive. Yes, that's very true. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Vernon. Thanks y'all for being here whenever you're watching. And I'll look forward to seeing you tonight at the Pancake Supper and tomorrow morning for another morning watch. May you find peace and